Organizations are transitioning to the cloud faster than ever. As your cloud expands, so does your threat landscape. To stay secure, you need a complete and continuous understanding of your cloud environments. The Jupyter One platform makes it simple for your team to manage your cloud security posture. No other platform gives you the power to pull cyber asset information from across your organization and the simplicity to understand and act on that data. Starting with a simple example, let's take a look at a multi-cloud environment to find data stores that are unencrypted and could leave you open to risk. You could have dozens, hundreds, or thousands of accounts and projects across multiple public cloud providers. With Jupyter One, you don't have to specify whether it's AWS, Azure, or GCP. You don't have to specify if you're looking for S3 buckets, snapshots, or SQL databases. You don't have to specify the account. Simply search your entire cyber asset ecosystem across all of your clouds with a single query. Let's look at a more complex use case, like finding S3 buckets in AWS that are not encrypted, in production, and contain critical information. The Jupyter One Query Language, or J1QL, allows you to write targeted queries to answer complex questions and cut down on noise when dealing with large data sets. Jupyter One is built on a graph database, storing assets and their connections in the database itself. This allows you to see how assets are interrelated and easily map the relationships to all your other assets and resources. Let's look at a real-world example that got a big bank in the US in trouble a few years ago. Are there public-facing instances that are allowed to access non-public S3 buckets? In a vacuum, this S3 bucket in AWS is properly configured to not allow public access. But when you look at everything else connected to it, the story changes. There is an IAM access policy that has specific listing Get Bucket Permissions. This policy is assigned to an IAM access role that can be used or assumed by a workload. This EC2 instance is protected by a firewall with a security group that allows complete unrestricted egress. When you connect the dots, what we thought was a properly configured non-public bucket becomes a potential entry point for attackers. This level of understanding is only possible by discovering not only your assets, but the added context from the relationships between all of the resources in your environment. Any of these queries can be turned into automated alerts to offload the burden of continuous monitoring to Jupyter One. Tell Jupyter One what to look for and how frequently you want it to scan your changing environments. If something is found that meets the criteria, it'll trigger an alert to notify your team. Jupyter One also has the ability to trigger additional workflows, such as ticketing via Jira, ServiceNow, email, and chat, and using more advanced orchestration functionality with things like SNS, queues, and webhooks. Queries and alerts in Jupyter One also map to compliance frameworks, including CIS Foundational Benchmarks, SOC 2, PCI, and NIST. Save dozens to hundreds of hours with automated evidence collection when preparing for and completing audits. All Jupyter One queries can be turned into dashboards for easy visibility into your cloud security posture. Here we show you all the different ways S3 buckets might be misconfigured in your AWS environment. Data stores are only one type of resource, however. Jupyter One can ingest data and do the same analysis for compute, network, storage, IAM, and more. Get started for free today or schedule a personalized demo to see how your team can leverage Jupyter One to secure your cloud and hybrid environments. Visit www.jupyterone.com to learn more.